was a young and educated schoolteacher who, in 1776, was sent behind enemy lines as a spy for the Continental Army. Though his career was brief, his life and death would become legendary, inspiring generations to come. Hale himself may never have fully understood the dangers of the mission that lay before him. Known for his frankness and openness, he naturally trusted others and interacted without guile, qualities that, while honorable, ultimately hindered his effectiveness as a spy. At just 21 years old, the young man from Connecticut demonstrated early on that integrity and moral courage were central to his character. Under the orders of General George Washington, Hale was tasked with gathering intelligence on British troop movements in New York. From the very beginning, the mission was fraught with peril. On September 15, 1776, Hale departed Connecticut, making his way toward Long Island Sound, unaware that the British had landed at Kips Bay on the very same day and had begun their assault on New York City. Oblivious to these developments, Hale pressed on. Along the way, he encountered a man who claimed to be a fellow American soldier, stranded in enemy territory. Trusting this apparent ally, Hale confided in him, only to find that the man was, in fact, a Loyalist officer who had set a trap. Consequently, Hale was captured and, on September 22, 1776, executed as a spy. The iconic phrase often attributed to him, "I only regret that I have but one life to lose for my country," was likely never uttered by Hale himself. Hale's early life was remarkable in its own right. Born in 1755 to a family of modest means in Connecticut, he was the sixth child of a minister and a Puritan homemaker. Opting for the path of education rather than the ministry, he enrolled at Yale College in 1769 alongside his older brother. There, he studied Latin, Greek, geometry, astronomy, and rhetoric, and joined the debating society Linonia, where he engaged in discussions on topics such as slavery and women's rights. Among his classmates was Benjamin Talmadge, who would later lead Washington's renowned pulper spy ring. This academic environment, combined with friendships with like-minded peers, shaped Hale's intellect, moral reasoning, and sense of civic duty. After graduating from Yale in 1773, Hale accepted a teaching position in East Haddam, Connecticut. But, he soon relocated to New London in search of a more stimulating environment. The outbreak of the American Revolution in April 1775 abruptly ended his teaching career. Fueled by patriotic fervor, Hale quickly joined the Continental Army. On July 6, 1775, he received a commission as first lieutenant in the 7th Connecticut Regiment. His friend and colleague, William Hall, would stand by him as a trusted confidant throughout these early military experiences. Even though Hale was often near the battlefront, he was rarely involved directly in combat, spending his time recording weather observations, supervising guard duty, and fulfilling administrative tasks. A far cry from the heroic exploits he might have imagined as a young officer. Hale's assignment as a spy came at a time when New York had become a site of strategic importance. His mission was to enter British-controlled territory and gather intelligence on enemy troop placements and intentions. Donning plain civilian clothes and assuming the guise of a Dutch schoolmaster, Hale carried only his Yale diploma as proof of identity, leaving behind military papers, weapons, and other documents. He arrived in Long Island on September 16 and began observing the British positions. Despite his courage, Hale was untrained in the arts of espionage and failed to follow essential protocols, such as maintaining a low profile, using an alias, and recognizing when to retreat. Hale's capture was orchestrated by Robert Rogers, an American-born officer who had offered his services to the British after being rejected by Washington. Rogers cleverly posed as a fellow patriot, gaining Hale's trust and eliciting the details of his mission. On September 21st, Hale was apprehended, and the following day, he was marched to an artillery park in New York City and executed. Contemporary accounts note that he faced his death with composure and dignity, though the famous line attributed to him may be more legend than fact. Official British records simply describe him as a spy captured behind enemy lines, with his confession providing sufficient grounds for execution. Hale's body was left hanging for several days before being buried in an unmarked grave. In the years following his death, Hale's sacrifice went largely unrecognized by the Continental Army, which prioritized the morale and operational concerns of its broader forces. Reports of his execution surfaced only sporadically in Massachusetts newspapers in 1777 and 1781, sometimes exaggerated or embellished. It was not until the 19th century, as Revolutionary War veterans passed away and a national identity began to coalesce, that Nathan Hale emerged as a symbol of patriotic devotion and moral courage. Statues and memorials were erected in his honor, including at Yale University, New York City Hall, the CIA headquarters, and the Connecticut state capitol. While no contemporary likenesses of Hale exist, artists have depicted him as the idealized American hero, embodying the virtues of bravery, integrity, and selflessness. Nathan Hale's failed spy mission, though tragic, carried profound lessons for the Continental Army. Washington realized that a solitary operative, even one as courageous as Hale, could not reliably gather intelligence behind enemy lines. So, this understanding, led to the creation of structured networks including the Culper spy ring. This group later played a critical role in collecting and transmitting intelligence that, honestly, influenced the course of the revolution. Hale's life and death illustrate that heroism is not measured solely by success, but also by the willingness to act with principle and courage in the face of danger. Today, Nathan Hale is remembered not only as a martyr of the American Revolution, but also as a symbol of patriotism, integrity, and moral conviction. From a modest schoolteacher in Connecticut to an enduring national hero, his story transcends his failed mission. It serves as a testament to the enduring power of courage, the importance of duty, and the impact of selfless sacrifice in shaping the destiny of a nation. Though Hale's spy work ended in tragedy, his legacy continues to inspire Americans and admirers of freedom around the world, ensuring that his one life given for the country is never forgotten.